Last night I dreamed of Manderlay. Last night I dreamed of a man to lay, am I right? Hey everyone, I'm here to talk to you about Alfred Hitchcock's first film debut here in the States. Now, before anything else, Alfred Hitchcock was making a name for himself as an auteur director over in his native land of the UK. But America was taking notice. They noticed he was a very, very interesting filmmaker and they wanted to have him take a shot at American films. So they found the perfect popular novel that they wanted to adapt and they had just the director for it. Now, initially, Alfred Hitchcock did not want to do this. She thought the book was a bit too sentimental and dabbling a bit too many different genres for him, whereas he liked to make like a very straightforward kind of story he could really weave his ideas into, but they were insistent. And I'm very glad that they insisted and won out in the end because the movie we're going to discuss today is a very good one. I'm, of course, talking about Rebecca. Now, if you like Suddenly Last Summer, there's some themes in this that are very, very similar. Rebecca stars Lawrance Olivier, Joan Fontaine, Judith Anderson, and a very small but memorable performance from Josephine Hull and George Sanders. So let's talk about Rebecca. Now the movie does kind of bob and weave between a few different genres at first. It starts off almost like a very cute love story. Like we have a meet cute with Max and the future Mrs. De Winter. And Max De Winter is like the hot shit rich guy from the UK. Like everyone in this place in Monte Carlo is talking about the fact that he's out here and he's out in the town and all the people are interested. Everyone's interested, okay? He is the person that everyone wants to see. And who happens to be in Monte Carlo at the same time is the future Mrs. De Winter, who does not have a name. Joan Fontaine's character, who is so subtle, so understated, so cute, and just so impressionable. You can tell like she just wants to make everybody happy. And she's very, very polite and almost fragile in a way, where she kind of gets pushed around a lot. And pushed around, I mean it, because Josephine Hull plays her overbearing, domineering, and just like matter-of-fact boss that she is the paid companion to.
Hurry up, I want to play some rummy.
And she is a bore of a woman, okay? Like she tells her what to do, what to eat, what to say, basically barks at her and chews her out for making bad impressions, just being in the room too long and existing. Like, you can tell she is miserable at this job, but it takes her to really glamorous, elaborate places where she as a commoner cannot gain access to. So, of course she's gonna take it. Now, as luck would have it, she bumps into Maxim in the hotel, and Josephine Hull's character is like, putting it on so thick. She's like, look, you must come to my room. We must have dinner. We must have tea. You must do everything with me, okay? She's one of those people, like, oh my God, like, chill out, lady.
She's spoiled, Mr. DeWitt, that's her trouble. Most girls will give their eyes for a chance to see Monte.
Wouldn't that rather defeat the purpose?
She's insisted that she has company with him because she does not want the poor man to be alone. To which Joan Fontaine's character is a little curious. She's not going to outright ask because it's very rude and she doesn't do that sort of thing. But she listens and she learns and she hears things, but she's never getting a complete story. And that's one of the big key elements of this film is that like there is a story going throughout here that she is getting partial bits of information to. She's the perfect conduit to the audience because we as an audience are in the same boat with her. We don't know what's going on either. We're just kind of passengers in this. We're hearing bits and pieces of things and we want to know what happened. It turns out Max De Winter is a widower, a very recent widower, and he has made an appearance in Monte Carlo to get away from the Manderlay, the huge estate in England that is by the sea. It's beautiful. It's like the gigantic like house porn kind of house. Okay, you think of like elaborate overdone palaces of like big grandiose houses. That's Manderlay. Okay, so he's off escaping it because all his old memories of his ex-wife are over there. So as luck would have it, her boss ends up getting sick and being bedridden for days on end. Like she's got some kind of stomach bug and it is hysterical the way Josephine Hull plays this part because she's just so doesn't give a fuck. Like she's putting out her cigarettes inside her cold cream. Like she just doesn't give a shit. She's berating the nurses that are taking care of her. Like she'll sip the soup and immediately want a chocolate after. Like it tastes like shit. Give me a chocolate.
I suppose I'd better have it. Wretched stuff, give me a chocolate quick.
Like I love her. She is me. She is all of us. She's what I wish to be someday. Like, don't get me wrong, like, she's kind of an overbearing toad, but a fabulous one. All right? Like, you can tell this woman is just living her best life with all her monies. It's overbearing, but she can see, like, this girl should be able to get out. She shouldn't be stuck inside with me. She's like, go take one affair with one of the tennis pros and learn a lesson and have a love story. Like, very that kind of thing. Like, go and enjoy yourself. You're in Monte Carlo. When's the next time you're going to be here, poor girl? She ends up bumping into Maxim, and they start having a bit of a romance. I didn't mention before, the first time she sees Maxim, he's staring melancholy into the sea, like at the edge of a cliff, almost like he's about to jump. And she screams bloody murder at him to stop him. We don't know if he was going to jump or not, but she was terrified he might. And that was their first interaction. And when they meet each other again, you can tell like he's interested in this girl. Like he's seen her a couple times now, and there's something about her that really piques his interest. And he starts to court her slowly. Now, he's very curt with her and very corrective, which in modern day lenses probably isn't as romantic as it is back then. Like, I get it's a whole different kind of ball game when it comes to like romance and the way men are portrayed, like very domineering. You do this, girl, for me, kind of thing. Like, it can take a little getting used to. But the fact that Laurence Olivier is playing it really helps because he's very, very cute and almost like a very submissive role for him. Like, he's domineering. He's switching back and forth a lot, is what I'm saying. And he's got that bubble butt. Like, his ass in those trousers, holy shit. Like, he looks so cute. He didn't initially want Joan Fontaine for this, believe it or not. Like, he did not want her at all. Joan Fontaine is a very talented actress. She's the sister of actress Olivia de Havilland, where they have like a frosty feud together. Hitchcock has worked with both of them, but he loved Joan and wanted to have her in this film and thought she'd be a very, very good addition to this because she has that like fragileness about her. Similar quality like a Marilyn Monroe has, where it's like the fragility, like you want to like hug them and make sure they're safe. Like she's very good at that and getting those feelings across for you, where it's just like you want to make sure nothing bad happens to this poor girl because she's just too nice and the world is going to take advantage of her. Like that's what you get watching Joan Fontaine's performance in this. And I understand by modern days lenses, you might be sitting back and like, bitch, if you don't just say something, like you are being too polite. Like you have got to just speak up for yourself. But she doesn't because it's just not in her nature. And she understands like she'll get further in this world if she just stays in her lane and nods and says yes and just grins and bears it. But Max, like I said, he has a bit of like a tendency to like correct her behavior, like tell her to stop biting her nails and sit up and that kind of shit. Like very much like fatherly in that regard, but he's not much older than her. But they have this whirlwind romance. But there's one thing is like a back and forth with this, almost like a tennis match where they have very, very romantic, loving moments together. And then suddenly she'll say something off the cuff and he falls in like a melancholy state and gets very, very sad as if he's remembering his ex-wife, Rebecca. And you can tell this is bothering her. Like she doesn't know how to vocalize it and she's trying her best to be like, you know, sympathetic to this, but she understands it's like this man is broken. Like everybody says, like he's a broken man. Like he's desperately in love with this dead wife of his. And it's the beginning of the weaving of her slowly just kind of shutting down and understanding like, I'm never going to live up to this woman, am I?
She was the beautiful Rebecca Hillbridge, you know. They say he simply adored her.
Like it's the very, very start of that. And they get to the point where she's about to get taken away by her boss because her daughter is getting married. So she wants to take her back to New York and have a celebration, go back to working her regular life as this woman's assistant, right? She desperately pleads to Maxim, telling him, like, please, I don't want to go. And he proposes to her on the spot in his hotel room while wiping shaving cream off his face. Like, no ceremony whatsoever. Like, immediately it's just like, I'm going to take you from this job. We're going to go back to Manderlay and we're going to live happily ever after. Like, it's a fairy tale. Well, at least, you know, a 1930s fairy tale, I should say. But you can't help but feel like this is so romantic and so just like sweeping her off her feet. Even it's like, it's not perfect, but she doesn't give a shit. Like she wants anything to like be with this man that she's desperately in love with. And she wants to do anything she can to please him. And that's where it can kind of get a little bit annoying watching her sometimes. It's like, girl, get up. They're going back to Manderlay. Let me just preface this by saying, the opening of this shows us a burned out shell of what used to be Manderlay. Like even when you see the burned out shell of it, it's still such a grand house and it's very haunting. Like this burned out house that used to be by the sea. Well, we get to see it in its full life and glory and holy shit. This house is incredible. Now I understand they remade this with Armie Hammer and it's not as good. And the house, I feel like in black and white, it is almost more impressive because you don't know where it begins and where it ends. Like you're gonna be obsessed when you see it. Like the rooms are like football fields, each one. It was like, makes me like, who makes this much money and wants to live in houses like this? Like a house where you need like an intercom system or you have to call somebody in order to get in contact with them. Like it's insane. And she's immediately taken in by it. Like she goes in, the staff is all lined up, like 40 dozens of people in staff. And one by one, they're all saying hello to her and she's being introduced. And from behind the crowd of servants comes the lead of the house, Mrs. Danvers. And let me tell you, Mrs. Danvers is very, very interesting as a character because she's one of those great villains where from the start, you don't really know how to feel about her. Like she's got a very coldness to her, but she's very intriguing. Like the dark hair all braided up. Like she looks like an evil stepmother with like the black dress, like all in black, like early goth kind of black, right? And this stone butch, so butch. And immediately she looks at the new Mrs. De Winter and is like not impressed whatsoever. It's very like,
I think we'd like.
and it continues on from this. The poor girl, she cannot catch a break in this house. And what I love about this movie is it kind of puts in perspective like how miserable it has to be to live in these gigantic, like picturesque mansions. Like you have staff and everything, but it's like there's no family. Like it's just you and your husband, and maybe you'll have some kids, but it's just like if you have a house that's gigantic, I imagine like the whole family must be living in it, but it's just the two of them and their staff. And it has to be so lonely and so like suffocating to be in a house like this. Like that's all I was thinking watching this. It's like how uncomfortable it has to be eating dinner and the person that you love is like is that like the length of a football field at the other side. Like you have to shout in order to talk to them or write them a letter and have the staff bring it to them. And you can tell like she's doing her best to try and slot herself into this because she's kind of given no guidebook. She doesn't know what the fuck to do. She's never lived like this before. And she's doing her best, but she can't help but feel like she's never measuring up to the former woman of the house. And it doesn't help that like there are artifacts of Rebecca everywhere. Like from the napkins to the towels to even the stationery, they all have her initials on it. Like she's branded the entire house, like almost as if it's like a Gucci bag. Like it's just Rebecca's logos everywhere. And she cannot help but feel a little discouraged and intimidated by the legacy and the ghost of this woman. And it doesn't help that everyone that ever talks about her talks as if she was a goddess Venus, as if she could do no wrong, as if she were the sun in the sky. She's the air you breathe. Like this is Rebecca, and you will never be her. And most of all, she fears that Maxim is constantly measuring her performance to the late wife. Well, my favorite moment in this film would have to be Mrs. Danvers. It's constantly kind of throwing jabs back and forth about how lovely Rebecca was. And eventually curiosity peaks. Like she eventually browbeats one of the servants while she's helping them with a task to tell her more about what happened. Like she wants to know what happened to Rebecca. Like all she knows is that she drowned, but she wants to know how. And finally he tells her like, yeah, she was a very forthright woman, a very strong woman. She's the strongest and most beautiful woman he's ever met. And no one could stop her. So one night during a storm, she chartered a boat by herself and got washed out to sea. And 2 months later, her body was found and she died. And Maxim had to go and identify the body and it wrecked him. And he has never been the same since. And this crushes her. It's like she was hoping and praying she could find something about this woman to where it's not just this perfect legacy she has to live up to, but it's exactly what she feared. She was this reverent saint of a woman that she could never live up to. And what I think is so powerful about this movie is like, you are built up with the idea of who Rebecca is, but Alfred Hitchcock does a very brilliant thing where he never shows you. You never see a picture of her. You're never going to. It's all in your imagination of like, who was this woman? Like, what does she look like? Like, what was she like? I have to know. Like, she's the most fascinating person. Even as an audience member, you're wondering, like, well, who the fuck is she, man? Because she sounds fabulous. She starts exploring the house, and there's one particular part of the house that she does not explore. It's the West Wing. The West Wing has not been touched since Rebecca's death. And she's staying in the East Wing right now. And the room she's in is beautiful, but it does not have a great view of the sea. Like it's a view of the countryside, which she's not arguing about. She thinks it's perfectly fine. She's happy wherever they want to put her. And that's the sad thing about the new Mrs. De Winter is she treats herself as if she's one of the maids. Like she doesn't see herself as worthy of being with Maxim, which can be a little irritating. It's like, baby, you married the man. Like, start acting like it. She gets curious and she goes into Rebecca's room. So much so, like, the dog even sits outside the room. The dog even, like, has fond memories of her and will not let this bitch die. She goes through and it's the most gorgeous, elegant, ornate room you've ever seen. It's beautiful. Like, high-ass ceilings, a beautiful canopy bed, a vanity that has been pristine, not a speck of dust anywhere. The curtains and drapes, beautiful. The closet, holy shit. It's like Joan Crawford's closet. Like, this woman was a baddie. And she goes through, she's walking around, she's exploring, she's touching the stuff, she's looking at her brush, and she's looking out that window. And that beautiful view of Manderlay, the ocean, the sea, oh my God, the noises it makes. Standing behind her like a fucking specter, bam, jump scare, it's Mrs. Danvers. And this is one of my favorite parts because like, you start to see the true colors of Mrs. Danvers and just how dark and nasty she truly is. Well, she walks through and she tells her, like, she starts apologizing to me, like, I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't be in here. And Mrs. Danvers, for the first time, has a bit of warmth. And it's very off-putting, where she just says, no, I've been waiting for you to come in here. I've wanted to show you this room from the first time you stepped foot in here. I would love to show you this room. And Amelie starts going through a catalog of all of Rebecca's things, from her life to her birth to who she was and how reverent she is. She's like, this is her bed. This is where she slept. She looked like an angel when she slept. This is her window. She used to look out every morning. This is her vanity. She got ready there all the time. She'd say, Danny, brush my hair and tell me a story.
Everything is kept just as Mrs. De Winter liked it. Nothing has been altered since that last night.
Like, just that kind of like really intense. Intense is the word I can say for it. Like, she speaks about Rebecca as though she was the air she breathed, as though with the moment she looked at her, she could see. It's kind of giving, you know, a little sapphic, if you know what I'm saying. They go over to the closet together. She has to show her everything. She's like, this is her dresses. Feel it. Touch it. Touch it! Like, touch this dress. Touch this dress, honey. Touch all these dresses. Like, it's insane how intense she is. So eventually she walks over the window and just starts waxing poetic about Rebecca and how she was this amazing, beautiful girl who more than anything loved Mr. De Winter, and Mr. De Winter loved her. He was obsessed with her. It's like the Homer Simpson meme where he's slowly backing away into the foliage. Like, it's just that, like, she shows herself out. She's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here right now. And something surprising happens where the new Mrs. De Winter decides, you know what? Fuck this. We're getting rid of all this bitch's shit. But an unexpected show of spine, she decides, you know what? Out with the old, in with the new. All right, get all this bitch's shit out of here. We're gonna redecorate right now. And Mrs. Danvers looks at her with a look of disgust. Now you can tell this is the one thing she doesn't want, because she's been keeping this shit around as if it were an exhibit, as if it's a museum to the greatness of Rebecca. And you can tell, like, she's finally headed up to here with this bullshit. She's like, I'm tired of y'all lionizing this woman. I'm the new head of the house. Like, we gotta start acting like it. She decides she's going to throw a banquet ball. Like, this is what they're known for at Manderlay. Like, they have huge balls every summer, and it's a costume ball. So she's going to plan a fabulous outfit and surprise her husband with it. Well, Mrs. Danvers has a suggestion. There's this beautiful oil portrait of a woman in white with a white hat in the garden with flowers all around. And she decides this should be your costume. This is the one you should wear. Maxim's gonna love it. He'll flip his shit when he sees you in it. What I haven't mentioned is, like, slowly but surely, people are whittling away at her confidence. Like, she's constantly having these things browbeaten into her that she's not good enough. And her self-esteem couldn't be any lower. And now she has this little bit moment of empowerment. She wants to do her big one. She wants to impress Maxim. So she has this costume made. The day of the masquerade ball comes, and she comes down the stairs. When she descends, the look on Maxim's face will haunt you. He looks at her and immediately just breaks, like, what have you done?
But it's the picture, the one in the gallery.
Go and take it off. Doesn't matter what you put on, anything will do. What are you standing there for? Didn't you hear what I said?
She's shocked. She can't believe he's upset by this. Like, she went through all this trouble. Like, she thought he was gonna love it. She runs up the stairs and she's about to retreat to her room when she sees Mrs. Danvers slinking into Rebecca's room and immediately turns on a dime like, I'm gonna confront this bitch right now. She set me up. She walks right into that room and confronts Mrs. Danvers. And you think it's gonna be a great showdown. Like, she follows like, bitch, you set me up. You knew the history behind this dress and you still let me do it. Mrs. Danvers is like, yeah, bitch, and you were dumb enough to fall for it. And let me just say this right now. You were fat and ugly compared to Rebecca. You'll never measure up to her, okay? Like, you will never be her. Like, and this immediately cracks her. She just like falls and collapses on the bed and is crying. And Mrs. Danvers is looking down at her like she is the most pathetic thing she's ever seen. And as she looks down, she looks at the window, slowly walks over to it, opens it up. The wind is blowing, the sea is roaring, and she says, I think you need to clear your mind. Come over here and stand by the window. Come and look out to the sea. She gets up and she looks out, and the look on Joan Fontaine's face is heartbreaking. Look at how she's broken. She is defeated. She knows, like, there's no going back from this. Like, she's really embarrassed herself in front of Maxim. And the worst part is, like, she doesn't even know why. And we as an audience are watching this like, don't give up. Don't give up. Like, don't do it. And Mrs. Danvers is even looking at her like, it'd be so easy, you know? Why don't you just do it?
You've nothing to live for, really, have you?
Look down there. It's easy, isn't it?
I'm gonna be constructive here. You should kill yourself.
And you can tell, like, she's contemplating it. She's about to jump. And saved by the bell, fireworks erupt. Something has been found. Something is washed ashore on Manderlay. And she immediately rushes out of there to go see her husband and join the crowd. And what they find on the beach is shocking. And this is where I'm going to stop and not spoil anything for you, because we enter the third act of this movie. And the third act is everything. And this part of the movie is where you get the truth about what really happened that night. And what I love about this movie is, like, you truly feel Rebecca as a character. You never see her, but her presence is always felt. And Manderlay, the house itself, is also very, very felt. Like, it is so good. The house is a third character in itself. But definitely highly recommend Rebecca. Amazing performances from Joan Fontaine Lawrance Olivier, Judith Anderson, Josephine Hull, and later in the film, the third act, George Sanders. So check it out. It's one of Hitchcock's finest, and it's definitely one of those movies that's very easy to watch because it bobs and weaves through very different genres to where you feel like you're watching 3 different movies, but it goes so fast and it's so interesting, it's never dull. So get into it. Daphne De Maurier's Rebecca by Alfred Hitchcock. Now, let me know down below if you saw this movie, and what was your favorite part of it? How'd you feel about the remake with Armie Hammer? Truthfully, how'd you feel about it? Were you as dazed confused by Laurence Olivier as I was? Because young Laurence Olivier just does it for me, okay? Like, he is hot. I'm into it. Loves it. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all in the next one, okay? Bye!
Do you think the dead come back and watch the living?
Well, it's over now. Click my next YouTube video. Like, comment, and subscribe.